I sincerely hope that there's a Spenders event in progress right now, because I just spent way more Astros than I was ever planning on, certainly in one night. 60, just, I'm too impulsive. I think I've got too much money online. I need to do something about it. Anyways, the Seravee Gundam, well, I got this as a gift. After some discussion, Ava, you'll love this thing. You know, it's right up your alley. You like to do the long range thing. You like to be able to have options with melee. Blah, 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 blah. Ava, you're gonna love this thing. All right, gift it to me. I'll play with it. See what happens. You know what? It's not bad. It's not bad. Kind of knew that I couldn't do the melee mode justice, and I knew that the belly bump thing was still hard to work with. And then it also had the dumbfire thing, which I wasn't really thrilled with. But the offset was the dumbfire travels pretty darn fast. So I mean, really, the only weapon on the entire thing that I actually like using is was it Weapon 3, the long range beam cannon. That's kind of it. So and to be fair, I'm not a fan of Seravee Gundam just because it's ugly and it's fat and it's got a face on its back, just so it can sell more models, I guess. Whatever. So anyways, yeah, Seravee Gundam, not a lot of motivation, but as usual, if SDGO has taught me anything, it's that size matters not, and whatever I might have against it, appearance-wise, doesn't necessarily mean it's going to make a bad unit. For example, I would not have all these Gadesses, Garazo Gades, I would not have these things because I don't like their appearance, but they're hella fun to work with, especially this one. This one's really fun to work with. So anyways, I've got some ugly units in my hangar, and just going to have to deal with it. Another unit that I have, and it's way back here, and I actually recently drained the battery. There it is. Gundam F90 and F91 Twin VSBR, which was a unit that felt out of place. It had too many long-range weapons. It kind of didn't know what to do with itself. And I said in my commentary there, you know, it's got a lot of long-range weapons. The melee mode was actually more feasible than the pure ranged mode. I wasn't feeling it, so I burned it out, and there it sits until such time as I change my mind, I guess. Another story of woe is the new Gundam mass production type. I spent, what was it, 400,000 points thereabouts. I can't remember exactly anymore. I'm intentionally forgetting so I don't cringe every time I think about this thing. I spent a shit ton of points on it, way more than a lot of other people from what I heard. And when I finally got it, turned out it was kind of meh. You know, the increased melee resistance, that's nice, but, you know, that doesn't really mean much of anything in SDGO, considering how melee-centric the game is. Increased booster capacity on a paper, that's actually good, although this might have been a scissors. This is a scissors, my apologies. So, and this kind of turned out to be a dud when I found out that these incoms were not actually incoms. It turned out they were actually funnels. Because I thought, you know, beam machine gun that could critical attack all the time would have been pretty damn awesome. Turns out, no, they're just regular remotes. So this thing was a big disappointment. It was a very expensive big disappointment. Enter the Seravee GNHW weapon. Presumably that means bazooka. The B on there means bazooka. Way too damn expensive. Way $60 for a unit that I'm uncertain about. On the other hand, before I got that other Seravee, I preferred to get this one. Now I've already got all the other SRs from Season 1, which is or Season 2, which is not true. I've got Arios and I've got Karadim, and I'm waiting for... Actually, I don't think 00 Gundam has any SR variants. That's not true. No, that's not true at all. They've got the... it's on the next page, but they've got the... there's the SR. So technically now I've got all of the SRs, although technically this one didn't appear in the show. So, anyways, yeah, I've got Seravee Heavy Weapon version. I hope it's not a really expensive mistake again. What am I going to do with it? I don't know, increased mobility, increased defense. I mean, the problem with this, the whole Virtue, Seravee, not really Raphael lineage, so primarily Virtue and Seravee in SDGO specifically, is that they are exactly the kind of mobile suit that I like. They're a tanky cannon. They're meant to take a hell of a lot of damage and yet dish out a hell of a lot of damage. Mobility is not an issue with these guys because, well, it doesn't have to worry about mobility. It kills things from over the horizon. It doesn't have to worry about engaging at close range. But on the other hand, it does have a lot of hidden arms on it, which is weird, but okay, whatever. So, but in SDGO you can't do that because A, there's no such thing as tanks. At least not anymore. And B, the game is incredibly melee-centric, which means I'm not going to be getting a lot of melee defense out of this thing. So what am I going to make? I'm probably going to either do defense or balance type. Off the top. What the shit? It's at EX. I didn't realize... This unit's at EX! I didn't know that till just now. Wow, so if it sucks, or if I like it, I literally have nowhere to go with it. I didn't know that. I guess it was worth the 6 Astro, or this, yeah, right, the 6 CM coins per roll. That's why it cost me so much, is because, like, I'd get pissed off and I'd throw another 20 in. I'd get pissed off, I'd throw another 20 in. So, yeah. Actually, it might have been more like 40, 41, $42 that I, no. What about 40, $45 is how much I threw at this. I spent 6, but the amount of, but the number of coins I put into it rounds out to about, let's see, a fourth of, so it would have been about $45 that I spent just to get this. And it's already at EX. Holy shit. Wasn't expecting that one, to be honest. So, what was I saying? I don't remember. Something about balance? I guess. I don't know. Defense type, considering how tanky it should be. I don't know at this point. It depends on what my run-through in a few minutes does. Defense up. What a joke. Okay, here's the thing. Even before G generation, if there was a defense upscale, that meant that the unit has crap defense. And if you saw the defense upscale, that made you think, oh, it's going to have increased defense. No, it just means it's going to bring the defense up to all the other units around it, which didn't have a defense skill, but whose defense was already appropriate. So I've come to distrust defense up for quite some time now. If it says that, it means, yeah, it's going to need some work. Seravee, agility, booster capacity, booster recovery, those are great. Attack, that's awesome. And defense, again, increasing defense. It's high on my priority list, but do they ever really increase it beyond like 3%? My answer would be no. Seems to me the shoulders and I think it was one of the generators on the thing. No, it is not. Okay, so this gets decorated up differently. I wonder if I should put a Haro on there as an homage to the first Locon Stratos. Lol. Okay, and my current Seravee, what the hell did I just call her? Alright. I gotta remember how I do this. Oh, I can tell you already, I won't be able to color this the same way. Which is really disappointing, by the way. Gotta remember how I did this. Wouldn't it be ironic if the red actually changes colors this time? Wouldn't it be ironic? Nope! Okay, so I cannot color this the same way I colored my original one, which really sucks, by the way. So, all the white bits, which is kind of stupid considering that the shoulders were painted separately. Although, painting just the shoulders is quite common in SDGOs, so, yeah. Let's see, I can't remember. Did I color those originally? I don't remember. Actually, what I might want to do is... Yeah, that's better. Because one of the things I like to do is use this khaki green. One of the things I love it is it looks like it's kind of a field add-on. It wasn't painted properly or something like that. So when there's like additional weapons or equipment that are not part of the standard setup of a unit, then I like to color it with the khaki. I did the same thing with both of my GN arms. So yeah, $60. And here I was thinking that I'd be try to save some money. Like, you know, I'm going to try and not spend any money for November because this is late October. What is this? Today's the 22nd. Well, it's almost the 23rd. But yeah. So much. So I've now spent, let's see, $60 just for this, and then $60 for this, and then I can't remember what the. I think it was another $40 earlier in the month. So yeah, I've spent quite a bit this month. Okay, so this setup is exactly the same. But it takes them longer to recharge, especially weapon 2. On the regular Seravee, you did that. Like, it doesn't matter how the weapons fire. The point is that it fires a beam cannon or a big bazooka knockdown, which these will not obviously knock down. And then the dumbfire thing. So this is the exact same weapon setup in this mode as it is in the regular Seravee. I'll bet you it's a beam spec in the other mode. I'll betcha. Now herein lies the... Whoa, I wanted to... Whoa, what the... Oh, I'll bet you... Oh, I know what it is. Oh, it's mobile armor boosting. Huh. I was doing this heavy boosting backwards. I was like, why am I not going anywhere? Oh, okay, that's why. Interesting. Alright, so clearly I'm not going to knock these guys over, so whatever. Each of them is long range. That would be the regular beam rifle, I guess. And it penetrates, right? Yes, it does. And dear God, look at the reload on that thing. Oh, look at that. Okay, but to be fair, there's a lot of ammo on it, so okay. And this looks to be exactly the same thing. The only difference is it reloads faster, I guess. So herein lies the problem. These penetrate. This probably penetrates or knocks down as well. I can't tell at this range. They're all long range, obviously. And then this is probably also a knockdown. Oh, that's a huge beam. Wow. God, it takes forever to... Why did I do that on drums that are almost dead? Why? Well, okay, so already the thing that I discussed with the F91 twin VSBR is raising its head here. It's the exact same thing that I had predicted there is truly happening here. Again. And that prediction was... There's so many beam cannons, there's so much long range. Softmax, for something like Seravee, it literally breaks the game. Like, it breaks all the rules about how SDGO works, because you cannot have in the name of balance and fair play and all that stuff, you cannot have that many long range cannons and beam rifles and such on a weapon in SDGO, because they're cute and they're adorable and they're fast and they're little ninjas and things like that. And basically the Seravee and things like it kind of break the mold. And unfortunately, well, that's no surprise for a paper. And unfortunately, as a result of this, we end up with something like the Seravee heavy weapon version here, where Softmax literally doesn't know what to do with it. They just kind of fill it up with all kinds of weapons and stuff. And then it'll drift down slowly. And there's going to be no MCA when you're in this mode either, so... How far do you think it'll go? It only runs as fast as these guys walk. By the way, that boost property is identical to the, was it the Wing Zero Custom? So, this unit did exactly what I thought it was going to do. It's literally filled up, and it's this mode in particular. It's filled up with so many long-range weapons that it literally doesn't know what to do with itself. Like, I mean, what is this for? That this doesn't do already, and then can't be achieved by this as well. This is your weapon 3 is your typical long-range beam cannon knocks down. The only difference is it doesn't have a sniper reload up. You know, the sniper's precision, whatever it is. This is just more or less the same weapon. It's just it reloads a little faster, but there's fewer shots. It has a much bigger beam too. Yeah, that's the biggest beam by far. You know, I would have liked like a quad shot of like the shoulder cannons and the under the arm cannons. Like, I wish those had been like quad beam rifles. Maybe not a beam machine gun, although that would have been very interesting on something like this. But I don't know. It has so many weapons on it. It has so many long-range weapons on it. It doesn't know what to do with them all. I think I might have to run another video here just to talk about this a little more. No, I don't. What am I talking about? I think I can highlight the weapons in here a little better. I'm not saying by any stretch that Seravee heavy weapon, what is that, bazooka, is a bad unit by any means. I'm not saying that. Actually, I'm a paper player by trade. I play those long-range cannons, not because it's quote-unquote easy mode, and you know I don't like the use of that term. That's degrading, that's insulting, and it's also it's not fair. It's not fair to use that label. If a player's not good, what difference does it make what range they play well? If they play long range very well, so be it. If they can hit you from further away than you can hit them, then you know what? That's called strategy, which SDGO sorely lacks, by the way. Don't hate the game, Ava. Hate the players. But this thing, how do I say it? Because I don't want to repeat myself, but on the other hand, I don't think I've said it properly yet. If there are too many... Okay, here's an example. I actually have a unit in my hangar that I can use as an example for this. Where is it? There it is. Gundam Epion is unique throughout the entire game. Not that it's pure melee, but rather that every single, with the exception of weapon 1 here, this weapon, and this weapon, literally all the weapons on it give you every status effect that you can with a melee weapon. One of them has a boost down, one of them has a control shock, one of them has a bullet 0. That's literally the only, that's all of them. There might be another one I'm blanking off the top of my head. But I suppose my argument could be applied to Epion, that there were so many melee weapons that they didn't know what to do with it. On the other hand, there are a lot of pure melee units in this game. I can't remember, is this one of them? Yeah, this is one of them. I hated using this thing. it had so many melee weapons that it didn't know what to do with it. That's not entirely true with Bolt Gundam, but I mean, it's a good example. That's kind of what I'm trying to say with the Seravee heavy weapon version, is that, and I was also saying it with the, where is it? Where is it? There it is. The twin VSBR. All the weapons, they act. Weapon 1 acts the same as Weapon 2, acts the same as Weapon 3, acts the same as Weapon 1. The range is all the same. They all do exactly the same things. Now, yes, one of them has a stun, one of them has a knockdown, but it's not the lack of variety. I can't quite put my finger on it, but I feel like these SRs, and most of them are SRs, I don't think they're being treated fairly from a weapon layout standpoint. I think they could have integrated, like I said, the four shoulder cannons. I think they could have been used as a quad beam rifle, so it would have been 4 shots. Now, I'm not saying beam machine gun because, well, these really aren't beam machine guns. You could set them off. I mean, it would be great to have 4 average beam rifles, 1, 2, 3, 4, all in one shot. That would be great. On the other hand, players would start complaining that it was overpowered and softmax, OGP, please nerf, hacks and unfair, blah 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 blah. But I think this could have been done differently. I'm not saying Seravee is bad. Bad is not the problem. This is not bad at all. I will not say that it is bad. I will not say don't get it. It may be expensive, but I'm not saying don't get it. I don't know. Maybe I'm reaching at this point. I'm not sure. All I know is this worth $60? Not necessarily. Because, I mean, I told you when I first used this mode here, oh, the first mode, it acts just like the regular Seravee. The only difference is it doesn't have as much melee. Okay, fair enough. And you switch to the other mode, well, it's got 1 knockdown cannon, which it damn well better have a knockdown cannon. And then it has a quad shot, that's long range, and then it has a big cannon, which is long range. Literally, weapons 1 and 2, they do exactly the same things. Exactly the same things. I can't even. I'll have to look it up in the wiki. Actually, I will do. I will look it up in the wiki. Hang on here. Okay, it's been a couple of minutes. It's clear to me now that the wiki has not been updated, or rather does not match what this current version of the Seravee heavy weapon version is, because it says that this is, it's a double shot, 4 shots ammo. Well, that's not true at all. There was like, what was it, 6 or 7 shots. And it also says it has a medium reload and has a magazine type. No, it does not have a magazine type because it was gradually reloading over time. It didn't wait until I was fully empty to use it. So the wiki is not 100% on what's going on here. On the other hand, it says that this is a double shot. It says that this is a double shot and penetrates. Does it do anything else? No, it does not. And then this is quadruple shot. Penetrates, knocks down if all hit. So, I mean, the exact same thing happened with, what was it, the F91 VSBR. Weapon 1 was medium range only, whatever, and it penetrated. Weapon 2 was long range, penetrates, double shot. Weapon 3 was double shot, penetrates, knocks down. And it was this kind of weird progression thing. And I'm looking at it, and this is more or less the same thing here. I think, after chewing on this for a couple of minutes before turning the recorder back on, I think part of the problem comes from that there was a I don't think I said it when I reviewed the original Seravee, but one of the things that I wished is that you'd been able to separate the bazooka and had it as a double shot beam rifle, pew 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 pew. And it should have had a pure melee and a pure ranged mode. Ironically, I had that complaint I was talking about the Destiny, pure range, pure melee, whatever. I think Seravee actually would have benefited from pure range, pure melee. And I think the Seravee heavy weapon version kind of has to make up for everything that the regular Seravee Gundam didn't have. Now then you have these double shots, and then you have these beam rifle shots, and you have these quad beam rifle shots, and these quad beam cannon shots, and all of them are penetrating, and all of them are double shot. And blah, 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 blah. I think it's this lack of variety, or rather, having to use this to compensate for what the regular Seravee did. I think that's what's kind of, I can't say ruined, but that's what's giving me those bad vibrations regarding the Seravee heavy weapon version. So I gotta say it one more time, this is not a bad unit by any stretch, but I do think that the GN field mode, all the weapons on there behave more or less the same. And it gets to the point where, well, what's the point of switching to Weapon 1 if Weapon 2 is going to do the same thing? Well, what's the point of using Weapon 3 if Weapon 1 is going to do the same thing? It kind of gets to that point, and then you start wondering, well, maybe they could have done things differently. All three of these weapons are long range, and they're listed as long range. You can see it right there, L, L, L. I think that quad beam shot, they could have done beam rifles. I think one of them, like maybe down here, these could have been maybe a different kind of knockdown, like the was it the Cassie Gundam has a medium range knockdown. Actually, it's kind of close range. It's a close range beam rifle knockdown. If both shots hit, it will knock down at medium range, not beyond the horizon, but within visual range, well within visual range. It'll knock down instantly if both beams hit. I think Seravee Gundam could have used something similar. Maybe even use it in this normal mode here. Not when it's like this, where you have the long range beam cannons and stuff. But I think in this mode they could have used something like that kind of close range knockdown, and then had a penetrating beam shot. This may not penetrate, but it does exactly the same thing. The wiki says that this does not penetrate, but this one does. You know what? They're still double shots. They're both medium reloads. They're both long range. So, I mean, are you supposed to use one to spell the other? Honestly, I'll probably be leaning on Weapon 2 more than I am Weapon 1. And then Weapon 3 for, I don't know, special occasions or something like that. Beam spec, no surprise there. Honestly, I think it would have been nice if in this mode, if this had been a melee spec, where it kind of threw the cannons aside and it just starts beating the snot out of you. Because that's pretty much what happened in the series finale, spoiler alert. And then when you're in this mode, then you can have a ranged special, or something along those lines. So maybe put the beam spec in this mode, I suppose. I don't know. Maybe I'm making a mountain out of a molehill, which I am known to do. I mean, Asperger's, we tend to do that. But just something doesn't feel quite right. I'm not ready. I'm not quite ready to declare war against softmax, and OGP obviously has nothing to do with this. Hell, OGP gave it to us at EX. That's actually pretty damn amazing. If that's the case, why didn't they give the fourth slot open? I'm not quite ready to declare war against softmax, and I do apologize for the video running extra long, but I felt the need to voice this concern, because I'm saying it here, which is more of a reiteration from what I was saying when I was reviewing the F91 VSBR. The argument will remain when I get my hands on the S Gundam Deep Striker eventually, because I do want to get that. More out of nostalgia than practicality, because there's actually a couple of dumbfire weapons on there I'm not happy with. But I think it's a good unit. I do. I think the variety in the beam shield mode here, kind of odd. I think they could have done a couple of things differently. I think I've run out of steam. I've run out of things to complain about. And I think I've repeated myself enough times I need to shut up at this point. So, thank you for watching, and once again I apologize for making this video run unusually long time. But I hope I was able to convey my concern properly with this.